Okay, so the question is, what do we do about somebody or for somebody who has osteoarthritis of the thumb joint? This person might be in pain, they have limited range of motion, they can no longer grasp anymore, they might even have their thumb stuck in a position that they can't move it out of that position. There seems to be relief that can be developed, or a movement, if we do a fascial release or soft tissue release of the forearm, which could be just as simple as rubbing the forearm. But the issue is the muscles, the thenar prominence, this cushy muscular part right here. And the true issue, of course, is poor biomechanics that led to the deterioration of the actual joint in here, the proximal joint, and then the continued poor biomechanics as arthritis develops. We can't restore cartilage naturally on our own, so the body's not going to restore it. Though there are techniques being developed right now that can try to restore cartilage and even add in gels and other things to try to have better movement. But we got to restore the muscularity here somehow. So I was taught this by a hand therapist, an occupational therapist, years ago when I had massive tendonitis of both of my forearms and I was casted. That's another story. With that, I've developed my own aspects of it. Well, the thing that she had me do is hold on to a business card like this one of the vertical workshop and grasp thumb and forefinger in here and then pull on the card with both hands. Now, if you have particularly dry hands like I do, a little bit of saliva goes a long way, or a little water, but there was some saliva into increasing our ability to hold on to this. So from here, you pull, 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 give it a moment. A pull, 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 give it a moment. Now, and you can keep doing this. You could go with your middle finger, you could go with your ring finger, you could go with your little finger. You could go both hands, or you're using one hand to pull to challenge the other hand that has trouble. Or as the teacher, you're holding the card and your client is holding the card. And so you're pulling. Now, the thing is to strengthen this musculature and the opportunity for grasping, which is an important human action. You could read my blog post about how to use your hands in Pilates and the value of grasping. Now, with that was all fine and well, but I thought we could take it a step further, and that was restoring the joint. So when you pull, you see this joint is lifted right here, and this joint is lifted, as opposed to collapsed joints in either way. So ideally, we want not just one lift, but two joints lifted as we pull. So not one in one way, or let me try the other way, or the other way, but two joints, you want both to be uplifted when we're pulling on the card. So if one collapses, we're not really able to keep that support. So that's a tricky thing. A person has a very deteriorated joint there, which especially this one will be collapsed. Then what you could do is they could take a finger underneath that joint and press it up, try to get the other one, make pressure, press thumb and forefinger together, and then try to keep that and feel for the muscularity, only as much pressure as then they could take their finger away and keep that. It's probably going to collapse at first. Let it. Do it again. Press up with your finger under here. Your client can do this to themselves, and you're showing them with your own hand. Make that joint, that bone, prominent. Make the other joint prominent. Hug thumb and forefinger, or another finger if that feels better, and then hug it. Keep pressing up. Only hug as much, or as much pressure as then you could take the hand away and you keep both prominences. And then eventually you'll be able to do that pulling on a card. So The first part I learned from an occupational therapist. I think we only did one finger, but you could do all fingers. Why not strengthen the entire forearm, which is what we're doing. And that thenar prominence, this cushy thenar refers to your thumb. And then the other thing is, but we want both joints to be uplifted and neither one of them to be collapsed over time. So we do this press up and hold, take it away and it stays. You could try for each finger and take away each time, is my version of my addition to it. So play with that, reach out with questions, and I've had great success with my clients with that. I hope that will help me for eternity too. Cross your fingers. Don't cross them too hard, bad biomechanics. All right, so reach out if you have any questions.